Hello guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plonk production. And what I want to do with this video, and you can probably tell by the title already, is do what I'm going to be calling a end of year review. Basically, I've seen some of the YouTubers do this. I think it was Modern Vintage Gamer do this. I think Techmoan did it. A few YouTubers that I follow and watch have done this video where they sort of just look at what happened for the past year on their channel, in their lives, things of that nature, and see what's changed in this year and what they look forward to in 2023. Why not? I thought it was a fantastic idea. Obviously, it's not necessarily an original idea. There's many YouTubers that I've watched many years in the past that don't upload that regularly anymore that have done a very similar video. But I think this video especially would be a good... this year especially would be a good time to do this video for myself. So, first and foremost, we can start at towards the beginning of the year. The most crucial thing that, of course, has happened to me this year is, of course, I've now changed job, which is, or career, I suppose, would be the other way of looking at it. It's been quite a substantial change, but we'll go on to that a little bit later. So the first thing that happened this year that was relatively substantial is I got a PlayStation 5. So finally, I got myself onto the next-gen ladder. Now, I was already on the next-gen ladder in terms of a Xbox Series S. Was that this year? That was this year. I think I did that before the PS5. So I got an Xbox Series S, which got me onto the ladder for next gen and started getting prepared for next gen. But there was a nagging feeling in the back of my head, especially when the next Spider-Man game, Sony revealed, or it might have been Insomniac revealed, that there wasn't going to be a PS4 version of that game. It was going to be PS5 exclusive. They were starting to develop for the PS5 rather than developing for the PS4 and then sort of making it look prettier for the PS5, which is basically the development path for a lot of games at the moment, is they're being developed for the previous gen and just made to look prettier on the next gen. I know there are some games that are starting to only be next gen, such as Medium on the Xbox Series S/X version. There is no Xbox One version, and I think one of the Plague Tale games might be next gen exclusive, but still, there are many games that aren't truly next gen exclusive. Demon's Souls, the remaster, is a next-gen exclusive. It's a PS5 exclusive straight up. It's on no other systems, despite them saying that it was going to be on PC at some point, which I know was a bit of a slip. It is coming to PC at some point down the road, I do believe. It's just a bit of a slip up from one of the developers or PR people involved with that game. Let it slip that was going to be a thing in the future. But anyway, there's very few truly exclusive next-gen games. But once Sony and various other first or second-party developers connected to Sony started talking about, the next Spider-Man was going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, there was talk that God of War Ragnarok would be a PS5 exclusive. Turns out they were developing a PS4 version. Horizon Forbidden West, there was some rumblings that could be a PS5 exclusive, and then the news dropped that, as we know it at the moment, it may change, but the next Spider-Man game, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, releasing next winter season, next winter season, as far as we understand it, is going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I really enjoyed Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I'm like, need to think about getting a PS5. And I took some, you could say, drastic methods in order to get hold of said PS5. I actually can't remember the exact path that I took to get the PS5, but long story short, I ended up with a PS5, and I was actually really lucky that I managed to get one off of Facebook Marketplace. And when I had the PS5, I then bought some 4K Blu-rays, a couple of 4K Blu-rays. And although there is a difference on 4K on a 1080p TV, there was something in the back of my head that was just niggling. And that was, I need to go up to 4K. I need to make the step up to 4K. And that's basically the next step that I personally made, was the step up to 4K. So I decided to get Sky Glass. Basically, which actually, as of me recording this video today, actually the Sky Glass TV needed to be replaced today because there was a sound distortion that seems to have disappeared, and I swear the replacement TV sounds a lot better than the first TV ever did, which means I think there was more wrong with that first TV than from the outset than the second TV seems to have fixed. I do know that if you get that sound issue on Sky Glass, by the way, if you're a Sky Glass owner or customer, if you are getting that distortion, it means you've got one of the first batch TVs, and the subsequent batches, they fixed that issue. It's something to do with the subwoofer or one of the speakers on the bottom not being fitted properly, or the fascia not being fitted properly, or something of that nature. But contact Sky and I'm sure they'll get you sorted. All Sky Glass TVs come with a 2-year hardware warranty anyway, so get that shiz sorted if you do have one and are having that issue, because it was very easy. Once the person I spoke to went through the troubleshooting, very easy to go through and get that replaced. The courier came today, mounted the new TV to the old stand, and it's currently in the back room, and I couldn't be happier. But when I originally got Sky Glass, and finally I had PS5 and I had a 4K TV, then that opened the floodgates for 4K for me. And I was sitting on the fence about getting some 4K DVD, well, not DVDs, 4K DVDs. Are there 4K DVDs? Anyway, no. 4K Blu-rays. I was on the fence about getting some 4K Blu-rays. And as soon as I got the Sky Glass TV and the PS5, I kind of went, I wouldn't say all in on 4K, but I've definitely gone down the road of 4K. So I've got Star Wars on 4K now. I've got The Godfather on 4K. I've got The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit on 4K. I have some single releases on 4K here and there. I'm trying to think if there is anything else I'm forgetting right now. I want to get Back to the Future on 4K, and there's a couple of those I'd love to get on 4K. I've got Alien on 4K, so that really opened the floodgates for me when it comes to 4K, essentially, and I kind of went in on that. Then we move into course later in the year, and I lost my job where I worked before. Bit of a kick in the nuts in some ways, but on the other hand, it's probably been a much needed kick in the nuts, or a kick up the backside, as some people have pointed out to me, that it kind of needed to happen. And yeah, I've now got I was unemployed for about 3 months, got a new job, and could not be happier. I've said this in the previous video, I think, but I could not be happier with that new job. In the meantime, I've also upgraded my Xbox One S to an Xbox One X. So I am on board with 4K everything, and with the Xbox, did I say One X? I meant Series X. With an Xbox Series X and an Xbox and a PS5 and a Switch OLED, which was very generously bought for me by my mum this year, I have the complete accompaniment of current gen consoles. right now, and that's the next thing I wanted to touch upon, is that I now have the most up-to-date consoles. Now, on that same sort of line, my computer at one point this year decided to bite the dust and just completely shit the bed and just die. So I decided to take a punt, basically, and sold a tablet I was kind of using here and there in order to purchase a motherboard bundle from a place known as Novatech. It's a Ryzen 5. I completely forget the exact Ryzen 5 that it is, but it's basically a Ryzen 5 with 16 gig of DDR4 RAM, and now I have an AMD 6600 in there, which is their ray traced, one of the ray traced graphics cards, an entry level graphics card, but it basically brings my computer up to a much higher level than it was at before. With that motherboard bundle, I was using a 1050 Ti, so that was obviously holding it back. With the 6600, obviously it's now kind of, a step above, so to speak. So my PC is now kind of up the same level as, it's more modernised. Now, it's nowhere near the level of, say, the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, but it's not supposed to be. Consoles are supposed to be very much high-end when they first launch, and then as time goes on, obviously they get lower-end, but then that's the whole point of consoles. It's sort of how that happens. So, with all of that, 4K TV, ability to play 4K content, things of that nature, and PC being better, having the full accompaniment of up-to-date consoles. Trying if there was another thing that I was going to mention, and I've completely forgotten what it was specifically. But, that's been, for me personally, I would say that's quite the year. Going up to 4K, being part of the 4K gang, if you will, now, having the full suite of modern consoles and the most powerful versions of each of those consoles, changing jobs, which has been an absolute needed kick up the arse, I tell you. And then there's one other thing I keep going to say, but it's not really. I can't really think what I was trying to say. And of course, the last thing is I bought a Steam Deck, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, and I've been buying some games on it recently because there is a Steam winter sale at the moment, which I'm sure is the antithesis to everybody's wallet at this time of year. So, my wallet is definitely feeling the burn when it comes to the Steam winter sale. But having said that, really enjoying the Steam Deck. It is annoying that one of the games I bought the other day isn't even supported on the Steam Deck yet. Can't imagine it will be too long before it will be. But hey ho, I now know to make sure I check to make sure things are supported on the Steam Deck. So that's really 2022. That's what my 2022 consisted of, and what do I look forward in 2023. So the new job is going really well, got really good feedback, so I'm looking forward to completing my training, completing my probation, and then getting my feet really under the table with that, and really doing well at that. When it comes to the fact that I now have all the consoles and I'm up to 4K, is I'm going to start enjoying the things that I have. And that's, I touched upon this in the last video, and Steam Deck is kind of part of that. It's working on my backlog, basically. It's starting to work through my backlog, games backlog, movies backlog, box sets backlog. funds are going to be a bit more limited for a while, as they are when the start of the year starts. Funds will be a bit more available later on into the year, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you got to do what you're going to do. So, because of that, spending is going to be a lot less, and I'm going to focus on what I already have and start making my way through backlogs. And obviously for you guys that means videos on those things. I know some people, and I've had this in the past from particular people, is whenever I say I'm not going to buy anything for a set amount of time, there's always one or two people that feel the need to comment on that. And this is where I say this time and time again. I'm never going to get bored of saying this. At the end of the day, it's my channel, my life. And this is another thing that I would say that recently I have very much come to terms with. And that is, it's my life. What I do with my life is completely up to me. How I spend my money, how I conduct my life, how I go about my life is entirely my prerogative, entirely up to me, and has jack crap to do with anybody else. And anybody that wants to try and, manipulate that or guide that in a way that they think is conducive for what they want, then, well, I have a few choice words for them that I probably can't say in this particular video, but I've really grasped onto the concept that my life is my life. How I lead it is up to me. Yes, okay, you get to peer in, and this is a privilege at the end of the day. You being able to, what I share to you is a privilege. At the end of the day, I don't have to share these things to you at the end of the day. So, take with that what you will, basically. But I've in the past, people have said, oh, well, you have to buy things to keep your channel going. How are you going to keep, basically what they're saying is they are going to get bored of my channel because I'm not buying things for them to be excited for. But then last time I checked, it's not your channel, it's my channel, and this channel is purely funded by what I do and what I bring to the channel. And if I can't afford things for a while, then hey, guess what? They're not coming to the channel for a while. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But I'm looking forward to the start of 2023. Start making my way through backlogs. There'll probably be some gaming videos will pop up on the channel here and there. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about in this video. Is just go over 2022. And it's been a weird year. I've heard a lot of people say 2022 was a weird year, and it was a really weird year thinking back on it. Just weird. For me, a very positive year. In a lot of ways, I can't complain. 2 seconds. But, yeah, very weird thinking back on the year. It's funny because they say hindsight is 2020. But 2022, yeah, I can't put my my finger on it, but something about this year just did feel weird, felt off. It is what it is. It's kind of, it feels like that weird that weird honeymoon period where, COVID is still a thing. Oh God, I just mentioned the dirty C word on YouTube. The global incident is still a thing. But it's kind of taken a backseat to other things that have gone on this year, obviously. So, yeah. just a weird year. Weird year. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave your own reviews of your own years in the comment section if you wish. Comment on mine if you wish. What would you like to see for 2023 and beyond from me, and what have you? If I don't get another video between now and the new year, have a absolutely fantastic new year, and you will see me in the new year with a smattering of videos coming at you. So stay tuned for that. I probably will be able to get out another video between now and the new year. While I'm recording this video, literally tomorrow I've got the house to myself for a couple of hours tomorrow evening, so there may be some opportunity to record a video then. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, please take care, and as always, enjoy, the rest of your day.